Good morning everyone. So today we will be discussing about disinfection of the water. So in the previous slide we have discussed about what are the types of filters, what are the working principle, construction and cleaning efficiency of the types of filters. Okay, and also we have discussed about the comparison of the slow sand filter and the rapid sand filter. So now we will be discussing about disinfection of the water. So as all of us have learnt about the adhesion, sedimentation, filtration, sedimentation with coagulation, we have all discussed, and this water treatment process method are used for any type of impurities to remove the bacteria or to remove any type of impurities. Okay. So next we will be reading about that is disinfection of the water. It is one type of another water treatment process. In this disinfection of the water, the chemicals are used for killing the bacteria which are known as disinfectants, and the process is known as disinfection. The main purpose of disinfection of the water is to destroy all the organisms that cause diseases in human beings and the bacteria which can be killed to make the water safe for the drinking purposes or any type of purposes. So next we will be discussing about the necessity of the disinfectant. So in the necessity of the disinfectant shall be effective in killing the microorganisms. It should be cheap and readily available. It should be safe to handle and easy to apply. It should not make water toxic in nature. It should have the ability to persist in residual state. This is all about the necessity of the disinfectant. Next, we will be discussing about that is method of disinfection. So, what are the method of disinfections? So, disinfection of the water can be done by following methods. So, this you can see the following methods. First is boiling of the water. Second one is ultraviolet rays. Third one is other halogens, which includes iodine and bromine. Next one is ozonation. Next one is high pH, that is excess lime and potassium permanganate, and last one that is silver treatment. Okay, so we will be reading one by one. So first is boiling of the water. So as all of us know, while we boil the water, it kills the bacteria or any type of a virus. So we can say that the water should be boiled for at least 15 to 20 minutes. It is most effective. It can kill the bacteria or any type of a virus. It cannot be used on a large scale. During epidemic, it is used on a domestic scale. As all of us know, while we will boil the water for 15 to 20 minutes, it is very much effective for us, and it can kill the bacteria or any type of a virus. You can see now the coronavirus is continuing, and we are using the water by boiling it. Okay, so we can say that by boiling the water we can use it for any type of a purposes. So next is ultraviolet rays. So in the ultraviolet rays, these are invisible rays having the wavelength that is 1000 to 4000, and it can be produced, these rays can be produced by passing the electric current through the mercury enclosed in quartz bulbs. The water is to be treated with ultraviolet rays so that it can be less turbid and low in color, and normally it should be colorless. As all of us know, the water is colorless and the turbidity should not exceed 15 mg per liter, and the depth of the water over the bulb, it should generally exceed 10 cm or so, because these rays can effectively penetrate through this much distance only. Next is iodine and bromine. And also we can say that the iodine and the bromine are the disinfectant of the water. We can use some quantity of iodine and the bromine in the water, which can be limited up to 8 ppm, and the contact period is about 5 minutes, and they are not used for the treating any large scale public suppliers, but may be used for the treating small water supplies for army troops, private plants, swimming pools, etc. Okay, so as we can also say it as this iodine and bromine, while it is mixed with the water, some quantity of, that is 8 ppm of about iodine and bromine has been added to the water, and the contact period of about 5 minutes is very enough to it. And this iodine and bromine not only treat for only large scale supplies, but mainly it is used in small water supplies, that is in swimming pools, private plants, army troops. Okay. Next is ozonation. So what are the characteristics of the ozone? So it is a powerful oxidant. It is unstable in aqueous solutions, has a half of 20 to 30 minutes in distilled water, widely used in drinking water treatment. It is produced on site and cannot be stored at the site. So we can say it as mainly the general characteristics of the ozone are: the ozonation is powerful oxidant, it is unstable in aqueous solution, it has a half of 20 to 30 minutes in the distilled water, it is widely used in the drinking water treatment, and is produced on site and cannot be stored at the site. Next is, that is high pH treatment, that is we can say excess lime. Addition of the excess lime kills bacteria in it. All of us know, if we add excess amount of lime, that kills the bacteria in the water, and addition of 14 to 43 ppm of excess lime has been found to remove the bacterial load by about 99.3 to 100% from highly polluted waters. Bacteria gets killed due to the increased pH value. In this case, no residual will remain after the neutralization. Okay. So high pH treatment, that is excess lime. All of us know, while we are adding the excess amount of lime, it can kill the bacteria in the water, and we can add 14 to 43 ppm, that is parts per million of excess lime. It can be added to remove any bacterial load or any type of a virus, and about 99.3 to 100% from highly polluted waters. And also we know that the increased pH value of the water can also kill the bacteria. So we can say that bacteria gets killed due to the increased pH value. In this case, no residual will remain after the neutralization. Next is potassium permanganate. It is commonly used in rural areas. It is used for the purification of open well water supplies. KMNO4, that is potassium permanganate, is dissolved in bucket and added in the well water. Water should not be used during first 48 hours after the KMNO4 addition. This is used as popular disinfectant for disinfecting the well water in villages which are generally contaminated with lesser amount of bacteria. As potassium permanganate is one type of a method for the disinfection of the water, and this potassium permanganate, it is mainly used in rural areas, or you can say in the villages it is mainly used. And this potassium permanganate, while we are adding this in the water, we will not use the water for 48 hours. Okay, and this is a popular disinfectant also used in our villages which are generally contaminated with lesser amount of bacteria. Okay, next is, that is silver treatment. Silver treatment, that is the last method of the water treatment process, that is a method of disinfection. So silver treatment is one type of a method of disinfection. As the silver, when immersed in water, it has inhibiting the effect on bacterial life. As silver is costly, the method can be used in a small scale. Okay, so we can say that when the silver is immersed, or silver when it is used in the water, it has inhibiting the effect on the bacterial life, or it can remove the bacteria or any virus from the water, and this silver treatment is very costly, so we can use it in a small scale. Okay, so this is all about the method of disinfection. So in the next slide we will be reading about the softening of the water and why the softening of the water is done. Okay, so in the next slide we will be reading all about this. Thank you.